Welcome to another episode of Africa's Heritage, where today we explore one of the significant but often overlooked military forces of the 18th and 19th centuries, the Ashanti military. I'm your host, and joining me today is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, an expert in African military history. Welcome, Dr. Nkrumah.
Thank you. It's great to be here and dive into such a fascinating topic.
Let's set the stage for our listeners. The Ashanti Empire, during its height, had a military force that rivaled some of the greatest armies of the time. Can you give us an overview of just how formidable the Ashanti military was?
Absolutely. The Ashanti military could muster between 80,000 to 100,000 soldiers, remarkable for the period. This made them comparable to Ethiopia's legions and, in many ways, more substantial than the contemporary Zulu forces. But while their numbers were impressive, it's essential to emphasize that the effective use of those forces was what truly set them apart.
I find that so interesting. It wasn't just about having the numbers, was it? Their organization played a crucial role as well.
Correct. The Ashanti had a highly sophisticated hierarchical structure that maximized their effectiveness in the dense forest terrain of West Africa. They organized their military into components like the advance guard for reconnaissance, a main body as the primary fighting force, and rear guards to protect retreating forces. Each component had a strategic purpose, which allowed them to be incredibly flexible in combat. Flexibility and strategy is so vital in warfare. Can you elaborate on some of the tactics they used during battles? Certainly. The Ashanti military often approached battlefields in converging columns, allowing for coordinated strikes from multiple directions. They were masters of ambush tactics and employed extensive maneuvering, particularly suited to their forested environments. Plus, their medical support units showcased advanced logistical thinking, a hallmark of their military prowess.
Now, thinking about logistical support, how did the Ashanti military mobilize forces? It seems like a daunting task.
It truly was, but they had a sophisticated mobilization model in place. They maintained regular corps forces who trained up local contingents as needed. Their decentralized recruitment ensured they could rapidly adjust their forces based on strategic requirements, making them quite adaptive in the face of varying challenges.
That's an interesting point. Military organization doesn't just serve for fighting, it had significant political implications too, didn't it?
Indeed, the Ashanti military served as a unifying institution across different city-states and ethnic groups. The golden stool, which symbolizes the unity and authority of the Asantehene, was pivotal in rallying not just soldiers, but the cultural identity of the empire itself.
Speaking of cultural identity, how did European contact affect the Ashanti military and empire?
European engagement began as early as the 1400s, significantly impacting Ashanti development. The trade networks established altered their trajectory, leading to colonial confrontations by the 19th century. Notably, in May 1817, Englishman Thomas Bowditch visited Kumasi. His writings detailed the complexities of Ashanti civilization, but sadly, these accounts were often met with skepticism because of the racial biases of that era.
It's a tragic reality that many sophisticated African societies were not recognized during that time. What were some consequences of these early contacts?
These early interactions established the groundwork for future military and political conflicts. One example is the Asante-Fante War, which drew British forces into a direct confrontation with Ashanti power in 1806. The Ashanti encountered British resistance and demonstrated their military capacity by decisively defeating Fante forces.
That's an important moment. It set a precedent for British involvement in Ashanti affairs. Now let's fast forward a bit to discuss the Anglo-Ashanti Wars. The first war was a result of a breakdown in diplomatic relations. Can you explain what happened?
Sure. The First Anglo-Ashanti War erupted in 1823 after the British, under Governor Sir Charles McCarthy, rejected Ashanti sovereignty claims and led an invading force to contest them. This was after the British had previously recognized Ashanti claims to territorial rights. The subsequent battles highlighted tactical failures on both sides, but especially for the British.
What can you tell us about the outcomes of these confrontations?
The battles often ended in tactical defeats for British forces, particularly during the Battle of Nzamanko, where McCarthy's troops suffered a significant loss against the Ashanti warriors. Despite that, what's fascinating is how these conflicts demonstrated the resilience and resourcefulness of the Ashanti people, who adapted to their opponents' tactics.
It really highlights the Ashanti's military sophistication and determination. Thank you, Dr. Nkrumah, for such an engaging discussion tonight. Before we wrap up, can you recap some key points about the Ashanti military?
Absolutely. The Ashanti military was one of Africa's largest and most complex military structures, known for its organizational prowess and battlefield tactics. Their ability to maintain military cohesion, even amidst constant threats of rebellion, showed their strategic acumen and adaptability. Moreover, their diplomatic relations served both economic and political purposes, fundamentally shaping their interactions with European powers that would eventually lead to conflict.
This has been an enlightening conversation about the Ashanti Empire's military organization, a vital thread in Africa's historical tapestry. Thank you all for listening. Join us next time as we reveal more about Africa's rich heritage and vibrant cultures.